With Elasto Proxy. Today we're going to be talking about EV, and we're joined today with Jenny Lynn Patterson and Roberto Nacarado. How you guys doing today?
I'm great.
Doing good. Doing good. How are you
Awesome. You
doing,
guys
Justin?
doing great, doing great. Looking forward to discussing some EV. So I guess we're seeing a lot of big advancements, not only in the electric passenger vehicles, but also in other industries as well. What are some of the other industries that we're starting to see heading towards electrification? Is there any examples that you guys have seen recently?
I know we've been working with an ambulance manufacturer. They're looking at electrifying, started to offer that as part of their fleet. We've seen school buses trying to companies electrifying school buses, even Sea-Doos or Ski-Doos are trying to electrify those, and they're succeeding. And we've been working with all these types of companies. So it's not like you said, Justin. It's not just a car that they're looking at doing, but it's everything else, trying to see how they can combat the fuel prices or the fossil fuel or the carbon tax, let's say, on the planet.
That's
I don't know if
great.
JL, if you
Definitely, just you touched a little bit on the recreational vehicles, but there's quite a range there. Everything from e-bikes to little recreational buggies and golf carts and different kind of forms of that solo transportation, off-road, as well as industries like mining, where they've been looking into EV for quite some time because there's a lot of benefits for them. At least having a fleet of electric vehicles. It may not be appropriate in all mining settings, but having the option. So there's plenty, and I think we'll see it more. I think we'll see it more. We have mass transit, not necessarily electric, but looking more towards hydrogen and other alternative fuels. And it's only a matter of time before we see more need in maybe bigger recreational vehicles like RVs and ag equipment. The possibilities are endless.
absolutely.
That's great. That's exciting. Lots happening. Lots happening. It's going to be exciting to see what hits market next. We're seeing the like you guys mentioned earlier about the watercrafts. We're starting to see a big push in electric watercrafts coming out. So, but what comes after that? That's really exciting. So, I think there's a lot of industries that are starting to open up more to the electrification. So that's awesome. Um, Now, I guess we've talked a lot in the past about the benefits of vendor consolidation, especially recently with the supply chains challenges coming up and happening. But what sort of products are EV manufacturers able to consolidate with Elasto Proxy? Are we seeing any specific requests coming in?
I think it's fair to say that most of the parts and components that we supply within those typical specialty vehicle markets are needed on EVs, maybe just in a different way. So you may not be shielding the noise of a loud engine, but you might be trying to dampen sounds coming from other areas. So it's almost like the product range transfers. It's just used differently, or maybe different materials are required. So anything from insulations to vibration mounts to door seals. It's a broad range of offerings still, and then you get the battery components that are different needs there too, thermal insulations and all the fun stuff that goes along with that.
It's funny that when you mentioned that, JL, uh, there was a bus manufacturer we were currently working with in the US that when they electrified a city bus, right? And they're all great. It was working, but the amount of noise that the normal city bus engine muffles from the outside, because everyone, when you're sitting in the back, you hear that nasty engine kind of, in the back of your ear. But obviously, when there's no engine, the amount of noise that there are out from the outside coming in. So they obviously didn't realize that. Who would have thought that too? Like, who's to say, like, oh, yes, like you were mentioning, there's all the street noise that you have to mask or block out or dampen, like you said. So Like you said, the products that we currently sell not only fit EV or in regular mass transit vehicles, it fits many industries in general that we offer, but now we're finding different uses for them in this specific sector. So absolutely agree with that.
That's exciting. That's really big. Well, and what quite a big offering too. It's like you guys say, it's still the same products, but the challenge, it's a different challenge now, reducing noise, reducing the vibration, and the importance behind having a secure battery, also really big. So it's exciting to see. And I guess for our final topic or question for today, what sort of things are EV manufacturers talking about right now? Is there any topics or any common challenges that maybe is shared across the industry? Again, this is just what we're seeing and hearing from maybe our customers or other manufacturers, EV manufacturers out there.
I know there's supply chain is still a major discussion on there, right, JL? It's something that a lot of our current customers, prospects, it doesn't matter what the industry is, it's a general thing, but it's affecting EV as well, right? Because they're trying to race to get either first to market with their product, or is it an existing company that has ICEs now that they're going towards EVs, like that they're trying to race to get there. So it's a big pressure, the supply chain still.
Absolutely. We still hear, I think we're all a lot more alike than we are different, in the sense that, across these industries, a lot of the challenges are transferable. Supply chain, confidence in the supplier, and, just all of those issues all bundle up lead to a lot of challenges. And then these guys are developing a supply chain that's not defined yet. So they have challenges of, lightweighting their vehicles and things like this, where they're looking for new suppliers or materials that maybe aren't as readily available in the market, and trying to establish that. So it is a little bit of a more, I think, complex supply chain challenge than some of the more established automotive and specialty vehicle manufacturers. It's a mouthful will face. So I think, until that is established, it will still remain a challenging time, and everything's moving so fast now that it'll only be established for so long, I'm sure, before other challenges start to come in. So, keeping on top of it and learning about it is important for us, so that we have a good understanding of those challenges.
I think the advantage that we bring is the fact that we're not just a one-trick pony or just one product type of company. We have multiple products that complement each other, and I think by consolidating all that with one supplier, it eases a bit of that stress, especially on customers or companies that are starting their supply chain. Like, if you can get multiple products with one supplier, it's you're cutting one PO, versus multiple POs and managing multiple dates. The fact that we work with forecasting, that we know what's kind of coming up with your production schedule. So imagine now we're able to forecast multiple parts, so you don't have to start chasing dates and all this. There's advantages there in terms of dealing with suppliers that have multiple products that can offer an OEM.
Automating the race to first in EV. It's couldn't be easier. That's good. That's really good. Well, that's big. I think that, you know what, we talked a lot, got some great insights about the different products, kind of what we're seeing next in terms of the EV, electrification and other industries. So and that big push, there's a big push to be first to market, or to get to market faster. So that all comes down with the challenges right now. The big thing slowing manufacturers down is supply chain. That's a big thing. So again, you guys mentioned some great points about consolidation and just trusting your vendor. And I think really good discussions today overall. Very good. Well, thank you again for Jenny Lynn for coming on, and thanks again, Roberto Nacarado, for joining us, and another great vlog coverage with Elasto Proxy.
Great job,
Thank you,
Justin. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank